I think my favorite diamond cutter that I always remember, and wasn't even on Nitro. It was when they had WCW Saturday Night as one of the shows, and he was wrestling Eddie Guerrero.
Oh yes.
Have you seen this one that I'm about to explain?
No, I just like the matchup. I might have to watch it on my own time because I never knew they fought each other.
But when he hit the way he did this one, first of course, later in the match, he had Eddie Guerrero and he bent him down like he was setting him up like for the power bomb setup. Put his head down between the legs.
Yes, power bomb setup.
But then he put his hands in the air for the diamond cutter. He called for the diamond cutter, and so you're looking at it going, "Say what?" And what he did was he grabbed him like he's going into a power bomb, but he put him over like his shoulder, so Eddie Guerrero's now facing up because you lift him up in that position. And then he tossed him in the air and he did a half twist and caught him in the diamond cutter.
Oh snap! Really?
And it and what was so amazing about it more than anything, it was just that moment when he called for it, when he sets him up looking like a power bomb and calls for a diamond cutter, and in your brain you're going, what? And then he hoists him up, half twist, boom.
I'll have to watch that just because you recommended it. You know what? I'll watch that. You know what? But yeah, that is so cool.
But he
But
used to hit it from so many different ways. I mean, granted, Randy Orton does that. He hits it in different ways, but I'm sorry to any Randy Orton fans out there. His RKOs are just a cheap knockoff of actual diamond cutters.
uh, no question about it. I don't think anybody. I mean, I like Randy Orton. Don't get me wrong, but a Diamond Dallas Page is the man.
He had a way of just snapping it down, and not only that, RKO, he generally does it with one hand. With Diamond Dallas Page, he always had the two-handed grip, so it just visually made it look more impactful just from that reason.
Mmm. That is amazing. I'll have to check that out. But back to your finisher, the retro cutter. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the videos and I was like, all right, I have to definitely make it the retro cutter. There's no other way I can name. There's no other name I can name it. And then I just decided, okay, since I'm doing the 1990s version, the late 90s version of you instead of your current self, I was like, you know what? I'll definitely put your Kansas City jersey, your Kansas City Chiefs jersey, I should say. Excuse me, because back then. I don't think anybody knows this, but you used to be a big football fan, American football.
Yeah, well, during the 90s, especially when we had Marty Schottenheimer, it was like Chiefs games were like religion to me. I mean, literally, if I filled out job applications, I wouldn't put the reason why, but when it says days you can and can't work, Sunday would be a day I couldn't work. And it was just pretty much for that reason.
Wow.
I mean, it was like I said, it was like religion to me. And as you can tell when he said I used to be, it's not that I don't like the Chiefs anymore. It's just, and this is almost a whole nother conversation itself. It's the NFL in recent years has just run me off because of rules and officiating.
Yes. I mean, I
There's so
understand.
many bad calls, and then they replay something, and even if it happens, like it'll be a call where let's say it's your guy fumbling the ball, your team, and you look at the replay and you go, yeah, he fumbled the ball. And then they rule that he didn't. And you're like, what replay did you look at?
Oh my God. I
That's when you know it's bad, when the call actually benefits you, but you're still going, no, that's not what happened.
yeah. Like I could not get that. I mean, it used to be commonplace in wrestling because well, you would that's part of the nature of wrestling, but you would not. But in an actual legitimate game, I'm like, are you serious? Like I saw the Green Bay Seattle game back in 2013. That was the epitome of stupid calls, and that was just I'm sorry. But back to your character again. What did you think of it when you saw it?
I liked it. I mean, of course, initially I had that reaction of, it's like, no, now I'm doing Sporting Kansas City, which is the other football, the world football, by the way. which is blue. But then when I thought about it, I went, oh yeah, yeah, the old school. Yeah, I get it.
Oh yeah, I may
Cause
as well mention to the fans that in the 2013 variation, the roster was split in by the current product at the time, as well as the product from 15 years prior, 1999 or 1998, I should say. Sorry.
yeah,
So,
the old
so
attitude. Well, slightly after the attitude, I think. Well, it was right around then.
it was around there, and I just thought, you know what? I had to make your past self. That's what it was. So I just wanted to mention that little part.
Made sense.
And then I also gave you a team.
Well, I think actually the game gave me a team.
Oh right, yes.
It was one of those random little cutscenes that we talked about.
And what happened? You can tell the folks at home.
Oh, this was so cool. I was like, and it's one I'd never seen in all the games that I've done with my XTW. I think it was after the match. I don't remember if it was my guy going up the ramp or if they just came out. I think it was my guy going up, and I was greeted by two other people, Kofi Kingston and Brodus Clay. And so TehJew22, it's kind of like, okay, I guess they're a team.
I figured why not? And you can be the manager.
So then we used my little name, the Retroholics,
Yes.
which actually has the root of that came from, God, what was it? I think it might have been Rock Band 1 or Rock Band 2, where you can create like your band name. And I had a friend of mine. No, it might have been a little sooner than that. It might have been actually maybe an older wrestling game where we formed a team. But I had a friend of mine, and with me, I always have to have retro in it somewhere. And by the way, the root of that is the 1980s entertainment industry. Music, movies, TV. I love all of it from the 80s. That's the retro era. Hence the name Retro Rick. And so I was retro. And that friend of mine at the time was a big Chris Jericho fan. And you know what he calls his fans.
The Jericho-holics.
So, combine the two, and we were like, hey, Retroholics. It kind of has a nice ring to it, and it represents both of us, and I've kind of liked that name ever since.
Yes, and now that you're back, you'll definitely be doing more with it. Of course, I haven't gone around to it because of school, as you know, and I figured since, I already made an appointment to come and meet you on Skype, I figured, why not? Why not just do a talks right here? Let's see, other stuff.